se formó. La música con variedades, tocamos desde salsa hasta reggaetón. Un vacilón, este es el show de la mañana en el tapón. Son un bombón, tírame heavy, esto es el show de la mañana, el show. Esto es el show de la mañana, el show. Esto es el show de la mañana, el show. Esto es el show de la mañana, el show.
Este es el show de la mañana con Elio,
Dianelis y la bandida.
All right, fiestero, welcome back.
Yeah.
We are so excited. Estamos encendidos because, you know, every first Wednesday or every month we are here with our Children's Trust family from the Children's Trust studios here at Tu Fiesta Radio 95.7.
Yeah.
And to talk all about it, we are welcome back the great Marsha Kainer.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Elio.
How you doing?
I am doing well for an early Wednesday morning. I am excited about today's discussion because I have two of our wonderful partners, folks from the city and the county, and we are talking about actually a kind of heavy topic today, gun violence.
Yes.
In 2023, both the city and county jointly declared that gun violence in Alachua County was a public health crisis.
Wow.
And that really began our work together, our partnership. And so joining me this morning, and I want to get her title correct, Miss Brittany Coleman,
Yes.
the Gun Violence Intervention Program Manager.
Yes.
From the city of Gainesville,
Hey.
with Gainesville Fire Rescue
Yes,
and
yes.
Impact GMV.
Yes.
And we're going to talk a little bit about Impact GMV in a second. And then our former deputy county administrator, Mr. Carl Smart, who he retired, but now he's on special assignment. So we are welcoming Mr. Smart to the conversation with us as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you both for joining us this morning, and let's just hop right into it. Gun violence as a public health crisis. What did that mean, Brittany, and how did it pave the way for where we are now?
Yeah, absolutely. So first, thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be here. Also, I was not prepared for these headphones, so please, they don't quite fit over the top of my head, so please bear with me. But no, great question. So you're right. Both the county and the city commission felt like this was such a crucial, critical issue that they had to put some policy really behind it. And that led to declaring gun violence as a public health crisis. I think folks recognize that gun violence is a public safety crisis, right? Where we're looking to our first responders, our law enforcement, and they've been a huge, huge part of this effort. But when we think about public health, we're looking at the conditions in which folks live, their access to care, opportunity, jobs, programming in their neighborhoods, in their communities, health for them and their families. So it's looking at it more holistically and what can we provide from kind of a socioeconomic, emotional, all of these kind of peripheral issues, if you will. And it gives us, I think, more imagination, right? Where we can kind of look at a lot of different interventions from a lot of different perspectives. So it really, I think, from my perspective, was a great opportunity from our leadership to be creative on how we want to address the issue of gun violence.
Yeah, that's a great explanation, and I agree, because we're looking at gun violence not just from a numbers perspective of arrest, right?
Yes.
And law enforcement lens, but really how the community collectively can address these issues. Mr. Smart, let's talk about the Alliance. Because once the crisis was declared, then the county and the city and some other folks came together, started meeting, and something called an alliance was born, right?
Right. It's the Gun Violence Prevention Alliance, and it started with the MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding between the city, the county, and Santa Fe College.
Okay.
Santa Fe College provides the facilitation of the meetings, helping to bring us together, and the city and the county working together to put together strategies to help prevent gun violence. I think it's working well. It's working well. We're meeting regularly the second Monday of each month at 5:30, usually downtown at the Blunt Center, Santa Fe College Blunt Center, and we're meeting with stakeholders. There are a lot of organizations and a lot of people in our community that are already working on this issue, but it's just fragmented. They're working in their particular neighborhood, their particular community, their particular almost like silos. And so coming together to share information and to share what each of us are doing and what we can do to help. And the city and county, as governments in this area, local governments can certainly help to facilitate a lot of the work that's going on. So we're thankful to Children's Trust, and thank you for having me here this morning to talk about this very important issue.
Well, it is an honor. Let's say that it is a pleasure and an honor, and always we're grateful with Marcia and Children's Trust that bring in and spotlighting leaders, community leaders, and that they are doing meaningful and impactful work within our community. And I have a question for Mr. Smart that is mentioning strategies, and this is such a, as Marcia was saying, such a heavy and very, very serious topic where we all need to pay attention as citizens, as parents, as members of our community. And now a question comes to my mind when Mr. Mar mentioned strategies. I wonder what type of strategies are we already implementing to actually work on prevention so we can take initiative before the gun violence actually happens. When you guys get together, when these meetings are taking place, what type of strategy have you guys been developing?
Some very good strategies. As a matter of fact, just did a presentation to the County Commission on the strategic plan, which outlines 10 objectives, and the objectives are across the board. There's a lot of things that you can do to help prevent. One is to provide meaningful activities for young people, and to give them things to do after school, particularly after school mentoring. Things that help them to be successful in school. We know that literacy is a very important issue here in the community. We know that many of our students are not reading at grade level, and so promoting literacy programs. There's a nonprofit called Peak Literacy, and they focus primarily on that issue. So that's one of our stakeholders. Mentoring programs are programs that just help folks think about meaningful, good things to do versus getting into violent situations. Also, we've got the county, we got our crisis center, and crisis center take calls 24/7. If somebody is having some kind of a crisis, particularly if they're thinking of, maybe becoming violent, anything like that, or they have an emotional crisis, they can call the crisis center and talk with somebody. Sometimes that's what is needed, to be able to talk with somebody and share what might be on their mind so that they don't turn to something that is violent. But there's a lot of good strategies that's coming out of this alliance, if you will.
Yeah. Brittany, you want to share anything about the strategic plan? The city actually kind of took that piece of the project on and hired a group that really came out. I know they met with myself and my staff, a lot of the stakeholders as they were developing the strategic plan.
Yes, ma'am. And, thank you to the Children's Trust. We were able to put out an RFP, a request for proposals, and we got a lot of really great folks that wanted to do it, but the group that I think rose to the top, DPI, that was chosen by an independent kind of review board with local ties to the community. They're from here. They went to school here. They own property here. It's a small woman-owned business, and they came in and got right to work. They talked to Ms. Kiner's team. They met with both of the commissions, people from the community, and they heard a lot of what Mr. Smart was talking about. We have to have opportunities for young people. We have to lean into the literacy issue here. We have to have opportunities for parents and families to have jobs and economic growth and opportunity. And these were the themes that just kept coming up over and over again. And these are the things that I think we're going to want to focus on in the coming years as a priority for our strategy.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you both, is there any role that our local enforcement agencies are playing in these strategies? Is there any type of collaboration? Or
Absolutely.
There is the police department and the sheriff department. Well, there's several police departments around. You've got Gainesville Police Department, but you also have Alachua, High Springs, Santa Fe College, University of Florida. But they're coming together in the stakeholder meeting and providing data on shootings and incidents that are occurring, and also their ideas and what they might be doing from a department standpoint to also help in coming up with strategies to prevent. So yeah, there is a collaboration, and so that's working well.
And many of them have their own gun violence units. They're developing their own community outreach strategies. The sheriff's office, GPD, some of our smaller departments. So it's been, I think, a great partnership.
And GPD, I know that actually they have an event where people can go kind of like what a drive-through would be, and they can drop their guns.
Their gun buyback.
And also they have another event. I don't recall the name now, but I remember talking to Lieutenant Scott about this event specifically. And we have to give kudos to Santa Fe College Police Department. They have big events with the students where they educate the students, which is a very important age.
Yeah, it really is. Education is critical, right? I think the through line for all of this is education, whether it's educating parents, it's educating youth about the right things to do, the things that, poor decisions, the consequences of poor decisions, and educating them about opportunities. So that is the through line. I think it's so important for us to acknowledge all of our law enforcement partners. So let me say this about what the trust did. The trust investment in gun violence was up to $500,000.
Wow.
So we took the funding and we said we're going to give some to the city, we're going to give some to the county. This fiscal year, we have a small grant that's going actually to the sheriff's department. I forget the name of the program, so forgive me, sheriff's department. But basically they are having books and burgers, and they're going around and meeting with kids and ensuring that the young people in our community have relationship with law enforcement so that they aren't afraid of law enforcement. We love to tell our young people, if you see something, say something. But if they don't feel like they can do that, if they don't feel like they can trust, right, the law enforcement person that they go tell something to, then they aren't going to do it. So a lot of this is education, relationship building, getting out of our silos and working together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Brittany, tell me a little bit about Impact GNV. What is Impact GNV?
Impact GNV is the city's umbrella for gun violence prevention. It includes, of course, the Gainesville Fire Rescue Department, Gainesville Police Department. Many city departments work collaboratively, but it sits under Fire Rescue, their Community Health Division, again, because that department focuses on public health and how to get resources out to the community. So The foundation of Impact GNV is that our opportunities are community led. When I first started, folks were like, we don't want you to do it. We want you to help us that have already been out in the community for decades, right? Already doing the work. Support us. These are the things that we need. So we really tried to take that to heart. And a lot of our initiatives are how can we come alongside folks that are already doing the work, give them a little bit of investment, a little bit of capacity building so that they can continue to do the good work that they're doing. We also have teams internally, our street outreach violence interruption team. So that's boots on the ground. In the community, really well established, and they understand the folks who live here because they also live here and are from here. And their role is to really help mitigate and mediate conflict. So if there's something, fixing to happen, people are calling them, hey, can you talk to so-and-so? Hey, can you come out here? Hey, can you kind of help ease some of the tension and the conflict that's going on over here? And they're very, very good at what they do. They work with young people, folks in the community, and sometimes it's just getting out of the car and walking through the neighborhood, saying hello to people, being visible, and a huge part of what they do. And other city departments like our BOLD program, it's case management, so connecting people to jobs, connecting people to vocational opportunities, getting their GED, and a lot of other initiatives are Parks and Rec, who oversees our youth steering committee. Yeah. So there's a lot of different pieces that kind of fit under our umbrella.
Let's talk a little bit about the youth steering committee.
Yes,
later on this morning, we're going to be working on our podcast.
Let's go.
And our podcast is going to have a focus on gun violence. And we're going to be talking with Cherie Kelly from Parks and Rec about the youth steering committees. The steering committees and our youth groups are near and dear to my heart. I'm all about that because I think there's really nothing more important than empowering young people to speak, to voice their concerns. We make a lot of decisions on behalf of children and youth, and we often do it without their input. And so these youth steering committees are so valuable because it's them telling us what's important, what their fears are, what they need. And I really want to make sure that community understands that these groups exist and we want young people to get involved. So can you share a little bit about what someone would need to do if they want their young person to be involved, or if it's a young person out there listening and they want to be involved?
Yeah, 100%. Well, tune into the podcast so you can hear Miss Cherie Kelly. But absolutely. So contacting Parks and Rec directly. I believe there is an application on the city's website under our gun violence prevention tab. You can find it that way. Mr. Smart mentioned our monthly alliance meetings. We would love for young people to come out and be involved in those, 5:30 every second Monday. But they're doing fantastic work. I encourage people to go to the city's website. They have several presentations that they've given to the city commission about what they as young people want to see from us. And we've actually taken those recommendations and tried to implement it into our program. So they are front and center. They have a lot of great ideas. That's not just about themselves as young people, but how do they bring in our parents, our grandparents, our community. So I highly encourage people to go to the website and look at their presentation. It's really fantastic.
I wanted to ask you, Brittany, you mentioned this part of the program where you guys go, within communities and you talk to people, you approach and all of that. And I was wondering what has been the response from the community and from the youth? What that you guys saw, what has been the response? How?
Yeah, I mean, the people that are on this team have been doing this work for a long time, 10, 20 years, under pillars of our community like Chief Tony Jones. So they're well known. They're out in the community and people recognize them. They're calling them, on their personal numbers. Like, hey, this is what I got going on. So, I mean, I think the response has been really well. And they sit, again, under Gainesville Fire Rescue. So there's this separation, right? We're not law enforcement coming to collect information. We're here as a part of the community to see what the needs are. How can we kind of help support? And it's been really, really well received.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's
I love
good.
that.
And before we kind of wrap up here, I want to turn to Mr. Smart. Mr. Smart, the county actually took some funding and created some mini grants for community organizations. Will you share a little bit about that and what's going on with those organizations?
Yeah, be glad to share. We're thankful to the Children's Trust for providing some funding that we could use for mini grants for community-based organizations here in Alachua County that are already doing the work, but just need some additional funding to help build capacity. It might be for staffing, it might be for technology, it might be for bringing in additional help, consulting help, or whatever. So we are glad to be able to do those mini grants. We just did identified 9 organizations, and we're providing mini grants of like $26,000 to each of those organizations. And each of them are doing different things that actually impact, gun violence prevention from different aspects. I mentioned peak literacy. There's one group that focuses on doing after-school tennis. There's another group that focuses on doing after-school theater. There is a group that is what they call Dream on Purpose, that's going to be doing filming on purpose, where kids will be telling their stories about their things that have happened in their lives that impact them as it relates to gun violence, either directly or indirectly. But different organizations that are out there in the community already that just need a little help financially, a little funding help. And so we're, again, grateful for the Children's Trust for providing those funds. And we're trying to get those monies out there, get contracts completed, and get them working on doing more in their community.
That is amazing. This is so good, and I am seeing. I was checking really quick our YouTube channel. I see a lot of people right now on our YouTube channel watching. You have any questions, concerns? If you have been impacted, right, your family by gun violence, and you have questions regarding how we can support you or these programs can support you, right? Make sure you leave your comment below. Let us know where you're watching from. If you are on the radio right now, driving back from lunch or going to lunch, and you're in your car and you want to get in touch, just reach out to our station. We'll get you in touch with Children's Trust of Alachua County, which is our big, huge bridge, embracing our entire community with programs and initiatives to make this place better. And I want to ask you, based on what can we do, right? Because sometimes we leave everything to Children's Trust and all these programs, but really, what can we do as community members? How can we, like residents of Gainesville and Alachua County, how can we get involved and support you guys, for those that are right now listening and watching?
Yeah. I'll maybe start, and then I'll turn to Brittany. But one of the things is we have to educate our families and our young people about guns, gun safety, storing those guns properly. One of our organizations been distributing gun locks to help families to understand they need to make sure that gun is safely stored away, because a lot of times shootings are accidental. And people get injured. And also, if someone, a lot of young people are being charged now with possession. Just having the gun itself sometime is a crime. And so we want to help them to avoid those kind of situations. So educating our young people, educating families on what they need to do to help make sure that the guns are properly stored, and if you're going to use guns, use them properly and safely. And so I think that would certainly help.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, Ms. Kiner kind of mentioned it, but there are ways to get plugged in. If you have a young person that wants to be involved, get them in touch with our youth steering committee. If you just want to sit in and see what's going on, come to our alliance meetings. They're about an hour and a half once a month, not a huge time commitment. So that's something, once you get there are a lot of stakeholder updates. So people, nonprofits and groups come and say, hey, here's what we have going on. We need volunteers for this. Or, we want people to come out to our event. And those are great opportunities to plug in.
That's awesome. I understand these programs, they work based on prevention, which is a beautiful thing. But sometimes and most of the time, we cannot control what, others' actions from happening. So once a family is impacted or an individual person is impacted, is there any way that we can support that person that is already being impacted by gun violence? Is there anything that we can do?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll definitely let Mr. Smart talk about their programs out of the victim services and crisis center. We also, as a community, try to respond after someone's been shot or a homicide with what we call community care call-outs, where we go out directly to the community, usually close to or in the area where the shooting happened, and we've done it a lot of different ways. Sometimes we knock on doors and check on people, but sometimes we just post up. We put tables out, we cook hamburgers, hot dogs, we just invite people out. We have resources there from the county, we have counseling resources. So it's just an opportunity to respond and say, hey, we know what happened, you're not alone. There are local opportunities and resources that you can plug into, and we do that in partnership with the county.
Yeah, it's good to have victim advocates and social workers in the county that can serve as a resource to talk to folk who have been impacted and talk to communities, talk to neighborhoods, and mention the community call out. All of that, I think, is very helpful in helping people to deal with the situations when they occur.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we partner with Latin Victims Advocates, and that's part of the county too, and that's is very important. And I have a couple more questions that they are crucial to me. Number one, how has it been, and I will ask this, the support from Children's Trust of Alachua County, how impactful has been for these programs for the city of Gainesville and also for Alachua County? Let's start with Brittany.
Yeah, I mean, hugely impactful. Ms. Kiner said the amount that was invested between both of us. And so that funding for the city, it funds our violence interrupter program, which is 4 to 5 interrupters plus a supervisor. They also funded our strategic planning process. So we were able to bring in DPI LLC to do that. They fund a facilitator for our youth steering committee. So they are truly a foundation of why we are able to do this work. And it's working. I think the police department every month gives us an update, and we see these numbers continuously coming down because of all of our collective efforts. And a lot of that is because of the funding, and we're able to implement through the Children's Trust.
So, Mr. Smart, how impactful has been the support from Children's Trust?
Very impactful, very impactful. As a deputy county manager, I was a part of the team to help draft the original bylaws for the Children's Trust. There were a few Children's Trusts around the state, and Alachua County was in line to do something similar. So we've seen it grow. We've seen it develop from its birth, and it is doing some great things, helping to provide funding for programs all around the county, focusing on our young people. Part of the magic for the Children's Trust is the fact that you've got a diverse board. You got people from different parts of the county. You got city, county, you got school board, you got children and family services, judge. You got all these folk working together in order to deal with helping young people to be successful and stay out of trouble. We know that the Department of Juvenile Justice is busy, and we've got too many of our young people going into that criminal justice system, and so we want to help prevent that. And Children's Trust just does some amazing work, and I think that helped to augment all the other activities that are going on to help our young people. So we're excited.
That's awesome. I am fired up about this. Let me tell you, I am so excited. And I wanna say two things. So number one, thank you, Marcia, for making such an impactful, difference within these programs, working together with our community and Children's Trust of Alachua County, your entire team. I am amazed because when I see, who came the episode before, I said, well, who is coming? And every time Children's Trust of Alachua County keep amazing us with their work and what they do and how they do it. But most importantly, also, I thought, because this is not the first time that I hear about the gun violence initiative. And let me tell you, I thought I knew about it until today. That we actually went deeper into it and seeing and getting to know and learn more about it. I was like, wow, that's what gets me excited. And I want to thank you all as a parent. I am a dad to two beautiful princesses. I cannot thank you guys enough for doing this for the youth and for the good of our community. And I have my last question to all Mr. Smart and also to Brittany. If this initiative succeeds, right, what would Gainesville and Alachua County look like in 5 years in terms of safety and community well-being?
That's a great question.
It's a great question.
That is a great question. I'll take a stab at it.
Take a stab. Go for it.
The Children's Trust has helped us tremendously. I didn't mention they also fund our Technology Hub program, which helps us get computers out to community centers and programming. And so, I truly feel like, I mentioned this before, but the numbers are coming down. We've seen shots fired, people being shot, homicides from year to year decrease because of all of our collective efforts. And I think in 3 to 5 years that continues. I think in 3 to 5 years we're working more collaboratively. Mr. Smart mentioned silos, and I think one of the things that I want to see is all of our efforts kind of working together to continue getting these numbers down and supporting families. And it looks like not just government entities, but also nonprofits, advocates, young people leading that.
Yeah, I agree. And the Children's Trust really made a difference. It's good to see. I want to mention too, the Sheriff Department is working closely as one of the law enforcement agencies here in the county, working very closely with the Alliance and working with us. I think in 5 years we want to see a safer, better community. Alachua County, there's a quality of life here. I think that we all appreciate. It's a great place to raise a family. It's a great place for education and even economic stability. But we know that there is inequities. We know that there are areas, there are pockets of poverty. We know that there are certain target areas where violence is likely to occur, and so we want to reduce those areas and make sure that people all over the county, whether you live on the east side, west side, north or south, you have equal opportunity for equal access to resources, and we can avoid the kind of violence that occurs in some places. As Brittany's saying, the numbers are coming down, but we want them to just be stable, level out, and just be a safe community for everybody.
That is awesome. And for you that are listening and you that are watching, wherever you are, whoever you are, this is for you. This is a question. You don't have to answer. Just think about this and take it home with you. This is your homework from the Children's Trust Studios at Tu Fiesta. What do you think? Listen, what do you think is the most important step our community should take to reduce gun violence? And just think about that. And I want you to send us emails, use the WhatsApp tool within our app, and we're gonna get together, keep growing towards this goal, which is reducing and eliminating, hopefully one day, gun violence alongside with our Children's Trust of Alachua County. That's our homework.
That's great. That's great homework, Elio. Thank you.
Let us know what they say.
Absolutely, yeah. We want to know.
Well, we hope that after hearing this discussion, understanding that the city and the county and the trust is invested in the future of our community, that community will join us in this work. Come to the Alliance meetings on the second Monday of the month at the same time that Children's Trust Board is meeting. But come to these Alliance meetings.
Sorry about that.
Use your voice. Get involved, right? Don't allow decisions to be made without you. That really is the message here. Young people, we need you. We want to hear from you.
Yes.
But the key here is involvement, right? Education. Like I said, that's the through line for everything that we're doing. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Mr. Smart. Thank you all for the work that you're doing with the city and the county, Gainesville Fire Rescue. You truly are our partners. We appreciate you all. We appreciate Santa Fe College because I don't think we give them enough kudos when we have these discussions in the work that they are doing with the Alliance. Another true partner. And again, thank you all for listening. Elio, thank you for having us as usual. There is work to do.
Yes.
But know that we are not going to shy away from doing it.
Yeah, we always say it is hard. We're going to do it hard.
That's right.
All right. Yeah.
Alongside with Children's Trust, the City of Gainesville, Alachua County. Thank you, Maisha. Thank you to you, Maisha County, and the Children's Trust for everything they do. Thank you, guys. We're going to see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. aquí en el show de la mañana.
Está Tu Fiesta Radio. Tu Fiesta Radio, celebrando nuestra música. La casa de los latinos en Gainesville, Florida, 95.7. Tu Fiesta Radio.
Saludos mis hermanos latinos, soy Gilberto Santa Rosa y los invito a sintonizar Tu Fiesta Radio.
Hola, ¿qué tal? It's your girl Becky G. Los quiero mucho.
Soy Camilo. Tú sabes cómo va, te habla Nicky Jam.
Hola, soy Shakira.
Dímelo. Raúl Alejandro.
Nosotros somos el grupo Manana.
Soy Melina León y sintoniza en Tu Fiesta Radio.
Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Yo soy Juanes.
Somos Flor del Tabaco y los invitamos a sintonizar Tu Fiesta Radio.
La variedad 24/7.
Tu Fiesta Radio, celebrando nuestra música. La casa de los latinos en Gainesville, Florida, 95.7. Tu Fiesta Radio.
No. Mira lo que les he hecho a mi camioneta. Esto es tu culpa.
Yo estaba primero saliendo y usted me chocó a mí.
No.
Fuiste tú.
Yo voy a llamar ahora mismo a Jeffrey Melton, mi abogado.
Jeffrey, mi esposo, llámalo.
Meldon Law habla Jeffrey.
Una mujer loca aquí. Me acaba de tocar la camioneta.
Jeffrey, honey.
¿Un cliente nuevo? Sí, pero un poco complicado. Saludos mis hermanos latinos, soy Gilberto Santa Rosa y los invito a sintonizar Tu Fiesta Radio.
Hola, ¿qué tal? It's your girl Becky G. Los quiero mucho.
Soy Camilo. Tú sabes cómo va, te habla Nicky Jam.
Hola, soy Shakira.
Dímelo. Raúl Alejandro.
Nosotros somos el grupo Manana.
Soy Melina León y sintoniza en Tu Fiesta Radio.
Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Yo soy Juanes.
Somos Flor del Tabaco y los invitamos a sintonizar Tu Fiesta Radio.
La variedad 24/7.
Tu Fiesta Radio, celebrando nuestra música. La casa de los latinos en Gainesville, Florida, 95.7. Tu Fiesta Radio.
We're the Martin family, and we've been members of Campus USA since 1998.
It's very important to have a personal relationship with anyone you're doing business with. They don't try to guide you in another direction when they know who you are and what you're trying to do.
I think they give a lot of people a chance that other financial institutions would not.
Everyone, helps you, make sure you have what you need, exactly what you want, in the way that you want it.
I don't feel like a customer at campus. I feel like I'm a member of their family.
Fiesta.